Now on CoastTV News.
Deadly weekend ends with arrest. The man accused of opening fire on state leaders and their spouses has been captured after a massive manhunt. OC Bike Fest rebrand. What changes will come with it?
CoastTV News Midday.
Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Elisa Weber and welcome to Coast TV News Midday. The Ocean City Bike Fest has been in question for the past couple of months. The engines are starting up and so is the event planning. Coast TV News reporter Kevin Zippe shows us the latest updates announced for the newly owned event.
Jeremy Brink is the owner of Ocean 13 in Ocean City and always made time to go to OC Bike Fest with his family.
All the bikes are amazing to look at if you have kids. Like even my son, we used to come into town for Bike Fest when he was little.
The future of OC Bike Fest this year was off to a rocky start, but was saved by Kick an Event LLC after the previous promoter OC Jams defaulted their contract, mainly due to Chase Michael, one of the former promoters of the event, being behind bars in Florida, accused of writing thousands of dollars of bad checks for a motorcycle event down there. With a new event coordinator comes a rebrand from OC Bike Fest to OC Rock and Ride. Other changes being discussed include more of an emphasis on vendors at the show, the boardwalk ride-along happening twice rather than just once, and to include big-name bands alongside local bands to perform throughout the day. And with Brink being in a band of his own, he's all for it.
Amazing musicians in Ocean City and the surrounding area. And I mean, any local will tell you that goes out on a Saturday afternoon that there's just as much talent here as there is anywhere in the world.
OC Rock and Ride will start on September 10th and end on September 14th, leaving you with enough time to plan your trip and catch all the cool motorcycles driving in town. I'm Kevin Zippe, Ocean City, Coast TV News.
Happening today in Millsboro, a major road closure is set to begin through mid-August, weather permitting. This is related to the Millsboro Bypass project. On your screen now is Hollyville Road between Washington Street Extension and Route 24. The closure is a part of the North Millsboro Bypass project as crews work to realign Hollyville Road to its new configuration. It will reopen when the bypass opens and detours are in place for drivers heading in both directions. Happening today in Lewis, updates relating to the 4th Street Preserve. According to the agenda for the Parks and Recreation Committee, officials will hear a presentation and could take action. Part of the preserve's presentation includes discussion about removing invasive plants that pose a danger to native plants. The meeting comes after city officials say the $8 million fundraising goal to purchase the 4th Street Preserve was reached months ahead of deadline. The committee will meet this evening at 5 o'clock. And we're now taking a live look outside at Rehoboth Beach, and our first alert meteorologist, Bob Trahey, is going to be joining us. Bob, I see about 4 people who are braving the weather outside there. Not a beautiful beach day, that's for sure.
Not at all, Elisa. A lot different than last week where we saw beach umbrellas all over the place. Yeah, not a beach day. It's a dreary day, cool, damp. We're seeing lots of clouds on the visible satellite picture. Even a few showers showing up now. Northern Sussex County over towards Andrewsville right now, a little farther to the north. And Salisbury, Ocean Pines, and Ocean City. You had some fog and still looking at some fog in Ocean City, while the eastern shore seeing some drizzle and very light rain. We're seeing this easterly flow because we have a stationary boundary down to the south, and every once in a while there's low pressure rippling along that and kicking off the showers that are over the top of us and giving us gloomy conditions. 1.75 miles in fog right now in Ocean City. It has improved in Salisbury, 3 miles in Easton, so do watch out for patchy fog. Temperatures have only moved a couple degrees since this morning. Right now we're into the mid to upper 60s, maybe only warming another couple degrees as we have a raw east-northeast breeze right now. A futurecast at noon still paints some drizzle and light rain across the area. Temperatures in the 60s all day at the beaches, some lower 70s if the skies brighten a little bit inland areas, but that might be tough to attain as we're seeing a little break in the rain as we go into this afternoon and this evening. So day part forecast, you can leave the sunscreen, the sunglasses at home, have the umbrella for some of those showers and drizzles we go through the day. We've got big changes on the way, a big warm up the middle part of the weekend. We're talking about maybe severe weather by Thursday. Much more in your work week forecast coming up a little bit later on.
Thank you, Bob. Now to a story we've been closely following here at Coast TV. The Delaware General Assembly is not scheduled to meet today. However, Thursday was another day in the legislation session that District 20 Representative Stell Parker Selby was absent. Parker Selby, who represents roughly 23,000 voters in the Milton area, has missed every single House vote this year. That's at least 141 votes. Politicians have confirmed that Parker Selby had a stroke And with just a few days left in this year's General Assembly, the Speaker of the House cannot remove Parker Selby and declines to call for her resignation. The legislation will continue tomorrow on Tuesday. On your screen now is where Delaware State Police say a murder took place. This is at the 24,000 block of Rivers Edge Road in Millsboro. Delaware State Police say Marcus Harris shot and killed 19-year-old Andre Mosley Jr. of Ellendale and wounded 2 others. This happened outside of a home on Rivers Edge Drive around 2 a.m. on Saturday. Investigators say the violence followed an argument between the victim and a woman at the residence who knew both Harris and the men involved. Harris was arrested at the scene and is now facing first-degree and attempted murder charges. He's being held on a $480,000 cash bond. Happening now, the suspect in the Minnesota lawmaker shootings is now in custody. 57-year-old Vance Bolter was captured Sunday night. Authorities say they located him in a field. Bolter is accused of fatally shooting State Representative Melissa Hortman and her husband, as well as severely injuring State Senator John Hoffman and his wife in a second shooting early Saturday morning.
The first step in a case like this is that we take him into custody, and then the work will continue and begin to make sure that we have all the evidence we need to ensure that he is held accountable for his crimes.
And the capture follows a massive 2-day manhunt across Minnesota by multiple law enforcement agencies. Coming up after the break, Laurel Looks at Speed will tell you how officials are taking action to slow down drivers in the town. Happening today, officials will take a look at speeding in Laurel. These are the temporary speed bumps on West 7th Street. Neighbors on Center Street, which is one road over, say speeders now fly down their road. They say they're hoping town leaders can help them get speed bumps as well. And people we spoke with say it's a constant issue in the area.
I wouldn't raise kids here, and it's not fair. They can't even go out, to play. They have to be extra careful too. But definitely something needs to be done. And I've been here all my life, and it's gotten worse.
Laurel's police chief says they plan to start a speed traffic study in the neighborhood in the next few days. Officials will gather for an update at today's council meeting at 7 o'clock. Happening today, Milford School Board officials will discuss budget and policy updates. This is at the Board of Education meeting, and according to the agenda, officials are expected to discuss an early budget for fiscal year 2026 and possible policy updates. The agenda also includes student and staff recognitions and an update on school climate and culture. That meeting will take place this evening at 6 o'clock at Milford Central Academy. Also happening today, the Seaford School Board will meet with a packed agenda, including several policy updates and facility plans. Among the key action items includes approval of student field trips, a proposed update to the district's tax rate, and salary schedules for fiscal year 2026. Board members will also review renovation projects at the district office and Seaford Middle School. Tonight's meeting will take place at 6 p.m. at the district office.
Cool and damp conditions continue on this Monday morning. 66 in Cambridge, only climbing a couple degrees with some more showers this afternoon. Then a dramatic change midweek to warmer temperatures, even hot. And we do have the potential for strong to severe storms as we go into Thursday. Congratulations to Dottie Burke from Milford on winning a brand new umbrella from Paul Davis and CoastTV. Good timing on that. I'll have more on the dreary forecast and the summer heat headed our way after the break. Well, it's been a dreary couple of days, a weekend unsettled. We couldn't get the air show in Ocean City. It was gloomy for Dad yesterday, and that trend continues this morning. But look at this. We've got sailboats out on Delaware Bay, braving the lousy weather. And good to see that. 65. It's not pouring, maybe a little bit of drizzle. We'll see some of that drizzle and light rain into the afternoon. And temperatures climbing a couple of more degrees. The storyline today and tomorrow, cloudy and damp, waves of showers. Cooler today, a little warmer as we go into your Tuesday, but cool with an onshore flow. And then midweek, it's going to be hot as we have a pattern change and the 90s are coming back. I don't know if we're welcoming them back, but they'll be back with humidity and maybe some heat headlines as we go into the end of the week and possibly some severe storms by Thursday. But look at this temperature jump. 70 today, 78 Tuesday. We jump to almost 90 on Wednesday, 89, 92 on Thursday. Then a little cooler, a little drier behind a cold front on Friday. Right now, we're socked in with the clouds and some fog and drizzle. Some showers now up 113 northwest of Georgetown up into Kent County. Nothing all that heavy, and it's mainly clouds and drizzle and fog from Salisbury to Ocean Pines and the eastern shore. Similar conditions as well. As we have showers out there, nothing really organized. I guess the heaviest is back to the west near D.C. and Baltimore right now and southern Jersey. Otherwise, we have a front to the south, high pressure to the north, and right in between that damp, cool easterly flow and low pressure rippling along this front. That's what's kicking off the showers over the top of us right now. This front extends all the way back to the west, across the Ohio Valley and to the south. We have a lot of summer heat getting going from Texas into the deep south, and eventually this front will lift to the north, and that will bring us a big taste of summer through the week ahead. Monday and Tuesday, today and tomorrow, that front to the south, occasional showers, maybe a brief downpour, otherwise cloudy and cool with that pattern change by Wednesday. Temperatures have only warmed up a couple degrees since this morning, right around 64 to 67 at the present time. And there's that raw east-northeast breeze, not especially strong, but it is a damp breeze. And our muggy meter through time, it's muggy to humid to very humid by the end of the week. And that's coinciding with temperatures in the 90s. So we could be talking about very oppressive heat at that time. As we go into Wednesday, a warm front is lifting to the north, and then we're looking at a cold front moving in on your Thursday, and that could be bringing some, well, severe weather, we think, as we go into Thursday afternoon, maybe some damaging winds and hail as we go into Thursday evening, and then as we go into Friday morning, it will be drier with a northwest flow. In fact, the Storm Prediction Center has us in a 15% chance of seeing severe weather as we go into Thursday evening. Definitely something to keep in mind. And looking down the road, June 22nd through the 26th, that's into next week. I think we're looking at the first heat wave of the summer season. Summer arrives late Friday, and we're looking at temperatures well above normal as we go into next week. So I think we're looking at the first heat wave of the summer season into early next week. 70 in Seaford and Georgetown today, and Millsboro. That's a maybe. That's if we see some brightening skies in the overcast. Otherwise, drizzle and light rain across the eastern shore. 72 in Easton, Denton, and 70 in Vienna. Salisbury around 70, Chincoteague and Ocean City around 70, but a lot of us pretty much stuck in the 60s. Paul Davis 7-day forecast. You see how temperatures do rise quite a bit through time. Tuesday 78 and cloudy, 89 with storms Wednesday, then a hot Juneteenth, 92 with showers and storms, maybe severe weather into the evening hours. And then 87 Friday as summer arrives later Friday in the first weekend of summer, looking good. 88 Saturday, and then 91 on Sunday, breaking that streak of bad weekend forecasts.
Thank you, Bob. And here's what you can expect this afternoon on Coast Life at 4.
It's Monday, Coast Life, and not just any Monday. Look who's back.
Hey!
It's going to be so much fun, and we're going to tell you about some of that fun that you can see today at 4 o'clock. We're joining our friends at the Parker Group for a conversation about things that you might be doing right, but also things that you might be doing wrong when it comes to selling your home.
Plus, if you're looking for a good eye roll, our joke jar comes back around. A few yuckety yucks to maybe make you chuckle.
And we're also going to be celebrating World Yoga Day with our friends at Soleil Studio. All that fun and more is coming up today at 4 on Coast Life. We'll see you there.
Bay Health is now one of just a few hospitals in the country using a system to support life-saving donations. The hospital system is teaming up with Gift of Life Donor Program to enhance the organ and tissue donation process. Officials say data from Bay Health's electronic health system record system will flow into Gift of Life's donor record system through a new innovative app. This connection ensures accurate information and gives caretakers more time to focus on their patients and their families. Bay Health is just the third hospital in the nation and the first in Delaware to have this technology. And here are some closures you need to be aware of in Ocean City on Wednesday as the Maryland State Firefighters Parade rolls through the downtown area at 1:30. You can expect road closures, parking restrictions, and heavy pedestrian traffic throughout the day. Baltimore Avenue will close to northbound traffic from 14th to 30th Street. And with staging starting in the inlet lot at 11 a.m., parking bans will begin at 8:30 in key downtown areas. If you're not attending the parade, you can avoid delays by using Philadelphia Avenue or St. Louis Street. And coming up, pony swim preparations will tell you how organizers will prepare for the massive event that has become a staple on the peninsula. Details on the world-famous Chincoteague Pony Swim have been announced. Organizers say the South End herd is scheduled to be rounded up on July 26th, beginning at 7 a.m., and the North End will be gathered on the 27th at 6 a.m. A beach walk is planned for 8 a.m. on the 28th with vet checks and buyback picks. The Big Pony Swim across the Assateague Channel will be on the morning of Wednesday, July 30th, and July 31st is the auction, with the swim back set for August 1st. And coming up tonight on DSN, your game of the night at 6:15, Maryland Supreme Basketball League and boys basketball on Court 2. Then you can catch the final score at 10:30. And on the DSN Plus app, along with that game we just mentioned, also at 6:15, Maryland Supreme Basketball League and boys basketball on Court 1. Then at 7:30, East Coast Titans versus Laird Farms in baseball.
A live look into Laurel, lots of clouds. This camera's up on a tower looking through the fog and drizzle. It's dreary out there and only rising possibly into the low 70s if we get some bright spots in the overcast, otherwise damp and cool. Dramatic change midweek to warmer temperatures, even hot. Maybe severe weather as we go into your Thursday. Call the CoastTV First Alert weather phone, sponsored by Brockstead, Mandalis, Federico. Your 10-day forecast is next. With the dreary conditions, a good afternoon to get the indoor chores done and maybe take a nap. I'll be doing that. We're looking at clouds, drizzle, temperatures maybe touching 70, but that might be tough. Paul Davis 10-day forecast. We do warm it up. 78 Tuesday. Cloudy, 89 on Wednesday with showers and storms, and then Thursday, Juneteenth, 92. Could feel like mid to upper 90s with the humidity. And we could be looking at severe weather later that day. 87 Friday. Summer arrives Friday night, and it looks like our first weekend of summer looks good. Upper 80s and low 90s, and maybe a heat wave into early next week.
Thank you, Bob, and thank you for joining us here for Coast TV News Midday. And for more news and local weather, download our Coast TV News app. And don't forget to join us for Coast TV News at 5 later this afternoon. Have a great day.